Yo guys, what's going on? Got a kind of interesting game for you guys today. So on the right, my opponent is playing Blue Hybrid, one of the best decks, probably the deck to beat in this meta. And over on the left, I am playing, yes, a yellow deck, but exactly what yellow deck are you asking? Maybe you guessed by the Star Mons and the Pulse mods. I am playing LordKnightmon, guys. Yes, the deck is back. Best deck of the BT5 format has returned, and how well can it do in the BT7 format? We'll see. So I'm going to play the Pulsemon, draw some cards after the Pedomon. I'm going to evolve into the War Growlmon. Digivolve that for a cost of 3. War Growlmon, I think, is a really, really good card in this meta. Just being able to minus 4,000 on any of their Digimon. Just getting rid of like Bokomon's floodgates like Madoki Betamon you see on my opponent's side of the field, and you know, just stray Strabimons and stuff like that. It's really, really good. However, it does have a kind of awkward matchup against blue because if they stun your LordKnightmon, you're set back quite a decent amount. You've spent all this time digivolving into your like big boss turn, and you basically need to like attack to proc his effect. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and digivolve into the LordKnightmon after using the Digiburst on the War Growl, deleting the Madoki, and then gaining 2 off of the Blinding Ray, and then playing the Knightmon off of the LordKnightmon, deleting the Strabimon. What an explosive turn. So I think LordKnightmon still has some really cool plays. We're then going to put my opponent to back to 3, or I guess with 4, because he's got the mat in play that says if your opponent has Digimon without sources, you gain a memory at the start of the turn. So I'm going to just evolve Kazemon to pass the turn. But I do have the Knightmon in play as well as the LordKnightmon. So realistically, if he stuns me here somehow, it's fine. I've got 2 Digimon that like can really the Knightmon can go into a Mega after he passes turn. The only unfortunate thing is I don't really have like a TK or a memory set or anything, so do need to do something about the fact that he's probably just gonna keep choking me as much as he can. We're going to see the Korikakumon Digivolved for a cost of 1 on top of the Kendogurumon since he didn't have the Tommy or anything. We do need a hybrid underneath the sources to use the effect of Korikakumon, but we are going to use that to stun the Knightmon for the remaining of the turn, and then go ahead and swing into security with the Korikakumon for a cost of 6,000, or DPS 6,000, sorry guys, I don't know where my brain's at, but we're going to hit the reinforcing memory boost, potentially allowing me to gain 3 the following turn, but the howling memory boost comes down to stun the LordKnightmon. This is what I was talking about. So in this scenario, it's a little bit unfortunate that he stunned both of my powerful Digimon, and LordKnightmon really needs to be able to use the effect to bring out a level 3 to get you advantage. Playing Pulsemon, gaining, drawing Starmons for removal, Bushi to just rush it down your opponent. We're going to see the reinforcing memory boost proc to gain 3 memory. Putting me to, I believe, 5, which is quite a bit to work with, but not enough to go like Ultimate on top of the Kazemon and then Mega into that. We're going to then just run into a Hammer Spark and then Wyvern's Breath of the Korikakumon, which does feel a little bit bad, putting my opponent to 6. And that's realistically the main problem with LordKnightmon, or just like traditional evolution decks in general in this format. They're just too slow. The fact that your win condition is a level 6 that requires you to like wait 3 turns to digivolve into, and then like another turn to like attack and like play dudes off of it, and then it's really just stopped by like any one of your opponent's like Tamers plus level 4 combos where they can just like stun it. It's just a little bit unfortunate that like the deck can't really do too much in this meta. I think not to say it's bad at all. I definitely would like to recommend it as like a fun deck to try out, or just like solid like a tier 2-ish pick. But we're just going to run into the TK off of the Kumamon, grabbing myself a War Growlmon, shuffling the security after recovering. But my opponent is in a pretty good position here with the 3 Digimon in play. Only have 2 security left. If he plays maybe just like another Tamer or something, maybe like a Tommy or something, to be able to set him to like double Tamers next turn, or we're just going to see the Hammer Spark plus reinforcing boost, playing the Sora Joe for a cost of 4, putting my opponent back to 0. Sora Joe is so disgusting, man. Sora Joe plus like the fact that you can stun your opponent's Digimon to like force them to stay on field. You can't even like attack them into security to play around Sora Joe is just so nasty. We're going to go ahead and bring out the Bushiagumon. Now my opponent does only have 3 security left, and I've got the 4 Digimon in play. I'm also playing Kazemon, as you can see, so if I've got another one in hand, I can just Digivolve it on top of the TK, and that's like game anyways. But I was debating here whether it's fine just to go for a game, or I should like try to control the board here, because if I don't clear his board or game him this turn, I get gamed in you know, I get gamed next turn basically. So we're just going to go ahead, attack into the Kumamon. Or actually attack into the security, play the Starmons off of the LordKnightmon, and then run into an absolute blast in security, which is very, very unfortunate. Bottom decking the Knightmon, and then the Starmons was played this turn, so I can't actually attack, but the Kazumon can attack. So I'm going to just go ahead and swing into security with that, run into a Korikakumon, so she is going to die, and I'm just going to Digivolve into Chaosmon Valdrarm, which does put me in a pretty decent position, being able to clear his board, establish 3 of my Digimon, and the fact that he's got 0 security to work with, so he needs to do some serious freezing if he wants to be able to live this turn, because even with 5 memory, he cannot triple hybrid me, unless he's got the Hammer Spark, of course, which we'll see. But anyways, we're going to see the Tommy Digivolve into the Kumamon for a cost of 2, Digivolving that, and then, of course, stripping the bottom source off of the Chaosmon Valdrarm, and then we're going to go into a Beowulf for a cost of 1, since he got the Tamer Source, and then Beowulf is going to attack into the Bushi-Agumon, use his effect to bounce back the Starmons, and then Tommy's effect will stun the Chaosmon. So that is just such a crazy power play. The fact that he got to incapacitate 3 of my Digimon in just 1 attack off of 3 memory, like, come on, this deck is crazy. So then we're going to attack into security, leaving me with 1, but keep in mind that the Chaosmon Valdrarm cannot attack this turn unless I've got Blinding Ray Bushi or a hybrid here. It is realistically just a GG. So we're going to go ahead, Digivolve, the Chaosmon cannot attack, move to hatch the Upamon, try to dig one last time here, but nope, I don't think I'm able to get anything of value here, because my opponent can just swing with his one of his 3 Digimon. I'm going to play the Starmons to delete the Boko, and then play a Unimon in an attempt to block it, but of course he's got 2 Digimon. I've got 1 security, 1 blocker, so if he has any hybrid here, or like a Howling Memory Boost to stun the blocker, or just like any of those cards, it's going to be GG's. But we're going to go ahead, attack with a Beowulfmon, stun the Valdrarm here, and I'm just going to go ahead and block with the Unimon. Beowulf is not going to die because he's 7,000. We're going to swing with Stravimon, and then a hybrid 4 games. So the guy's eye is going to be game 1 of Blue Hybrid versus LordKnightmon. Game 2, I'm going to start with the Bushimon plus Pidomon combo, so putting my opponent to 1 and allowing me to cycle a couple of cards. So definitely a pretty strong opening, and then if I've got like a TK or a War Growlmon or something afterwards, that would be an even better follow-up. We're going to see the Stravimon Digivolve on top of the Karamon, double Hammer Spark. Now guys, alright, that was not an ideal play, but it's fine. Alright, it's fine. Don't hate on my opponent for the incorrect plays, quote unquote, because he's still relatively new to the deck. So we're just going to see a Pokemon played for a cost of 3, which honestly, like, it probably doesn't even matter. Like, it's fine. You're playing Pokemon, you're getting a Davis, it's a +2, and then we're going to see double Tamer's Hammer Spark revealed off the Davis. So that's pretty unfortunate, leaving me with 4 memory, I do believe. Yep. So we're going to just pass turn by playing my Reinforcing Memory Boost, which is really sick, because not only do I get the Cutemon, but then I get to stack TK on top of my security, guaranteeing myself even more memory for the following turns. And then we're going to pass it back to my opponent. He does start with 3 because of Davis. Reinforcing Boost, man, just such a good card, and basically any deck that can play like yellow cards, like this card is just crazy. Like, how is this at 4 for so long? Anyways, we're going to see the Stravimon played for 3, revealing the Sora Joe Davis as well as the Korikakumon, so getting the nice +2 there, and then afterwards we're probably going to see the Korikakumon Digivolved, or, oh no, we're going to see a Sora Joe played for a cost of 4. So again, 4 is quite a bit to give me, but Sora Joe is just, I think Sora Joe is like the best dual tamer in the game, so it's definitely worth it. But I can go like up to 7 here with the Reinforcing Memory Boost. So if I've got like a Mega play here, like a War Greymon, a Dynasmon, Laura Knight here, that could be pretty impactful, because keeping Pidomon on the field realistically doesn't do a whole lot. We're going to play the Starmons minus 2,000 on the Pokemon, deleting it, and then go into another Pidomon to draw again and putting me down to 0 memory, so double blocker here. I'm going to play a TK, which I honestly don't know if that was the best move, because you guys saw that I stacked a TK the previous turn. It might have been my hands really bad, I honestly don't remember, but we're just going to play TK. Regardless, getting the Knightmon and putting my opponent to 4 memory. Not going to get the +2 because I don't have anything without materials. We're just going to see the Howling Memory Boost played for a cost of 3, stripping the bottom 2 off of one of the Pidomons, and then freezing it for the following turn, of course. So not being able to block against a deck with a bunch of rookies feels, again, really bad, which is probably the reason why most decks really aren't playing blockers this format. This format is just really fast, and with blue going around there being able to just stun your blockers, like you leave them on field, they can't attack or block, it just feels like really bad. So anyway, so my opponent is going to freeze the Pidomon and then probably going to go into a hybrid play here, I'd imagine. We're going to instead just absolute blast the strip. My opponent is built different. Just to strip the bottom source and get rid of the Pidomon there. So putting me back to 5 memory, I believe. Bringing out the Cutemon here. Cutemon, if he freezes it, it's fine because it does really slow down that deck. So Digivolving Kazimon there, I think maybe it wasn't a good play. Again, all around questionable plays, guys. But I think I've got the Knightmon, I've got the WarGreymon as well, so that's pretty sick. Being able to clear one of his Digimon, so getting rid of the Strawbymon. And if I got LordKnightmon played or something, it's fine. Oh, we got the WarGreymon. Let's go. Yellow WarGreymon coming in clutch. So we're going to be able to attack, use Yellow WarGreymon's effect to be able to add the top card of my security, unsuspend himself, and then minus 6,000 on one of my opponent's Digimon, clearing something else. That's definitely really powerful play, and then going to be able to swing twice is just crazy, guys. That's so much pressure against basically every deck. That's really what you want to see for most mega decks. Like any deck that's actually evolving into a mega, it basically, if it doesn't say like check 2 or more cards, you're not playing it. Like if you realistically think about it, Ancient Beetlemon, Ancient Greymon, like Yellow WarGreymon, like all those cards are pretty solid this format, but like every other like traditional level 6 deck is just like not. So we're going to see a Tommy played for a cost of 3, stripping the bottom 2 off of the WarGreymon, popping the memory boost there, going into the Kakumon for a cost of 2, which can then again stun a Digimon without sources, but of course it's not gonna work. He could. I was gonna say he could swing and stun the WarGreymon off the Sworjo effect as well, but he just played the Tommy this turn, so can't do that. But we could possibly see a Beowulfmon here for the following turn, or just another Tamer. I think would be good. You against LordKnightmon, committing like a bunch of Digimon to field isn't really the best play because I've got so much removal in the form of Wargrowl and Starmons and possibly even Spiral Masquerade as well. So I think Tamers are pretty much your best bet here, especially if he got like another Sworjo here. We're gonna draw off the Kiarmon because don't believe that happened before. Just going to swing into security and then possibly triggering the Sworjo here to strip the rest off of the WarGreymon. You really just you aren't worried about like the fact that I can use his Digiburst again because it's already used at this turn. But we're just going to go ahead and absolute blast, strip the source anyways, and then bottom deck the WarGreymon. These absolute blast, man, they're just killing me. I think if you're playing blue, you need to play that card in some capacity. Like you do need some form of removal, even though you've got so much stun capabilities. Sometimes you just need like to get things off the field. So we're going to go ahead and go into the WarGreymon, LordKnightmon off the WarGreymon, swing into the security, just checking one for 12,000, but then going to play the Knightmon off of that effect, minus 4,000 on the Kakumon, and then minus another 3,000 off of the Starmons there. I do run into a Sora Joe, so my opponent is going to start with 1,000,000 memory next turn, but being able to clear his field is pretty nice. Then we're going to go into Monkey for a cost of 2, putting my opponent to 3, and then going to go +4 with the Sora Joe, starting his turn with 7, so he could triple hybrid me realistically if he wanted to. We're just going to see Strawbymon Digivolve for a cost of 2. Hybrid number 1 comes out, Kumamon Digivolve on top of Sora Joe, stripping the bottom source of the LordKnightmon. Going to go into Korikakumon for a cost of 1. Again, stunning the LordKnightmon, which just feels really bad, but again, this is really good play. So we're going to do that for a cost of 1. Going to swing into security possibly, but if he doesn't stun my monkey or my Knightmon, I'm just going to run over it the following turn. Because I know this deck doesn't play Magna Garurumon. Most blue hybrid decks have been straying away from Magna Garurumon and Koji, just because they take a lot of setup, and committing 5 from hand is like really terrible, to be honest. However, it does give you access to some cool plays. You can like put a Magna underneath the Magna and like bounce level 6. So anyways, I say that as like one of the Digifest lists, I think, in Arlington was like maxing out on Magna and Koji. But anyways, guys, I don't think it's like a really good card, but I can see how it could be like really viable against a lot of decks. We're just going to see a Kumamon Digivolve. And then swing into the security for a Dynasmon there. The Kumamon will die, and then we're going to possibly, I think you just like play another Davis or something at this point, because if you've got 2 Digimon or at least 1 Digimon coming out in like double hybrid, that is possibly going to be game anyways. But no, we're going to see a Strabimon putting me to 3, revealing the top 3, seeing a Kendo Garurumon as well as a Kumamon. Going to grab the Kumamon. I don't think Kendo is too relevant most of the times, to be honest. Jamming doesn't like do a whole lot, but I'm just going to swing into my security, my opponent's security, with the remainder of my Digimon, because he was not able to freeze me enough. So then we're going to I showed my opponent my starting hand there. We are playing mulligan rules, by the way, but my starting hand was just absolutely awful, so thank God for the mulligan. But my opponent is going to start with the Strabimon and the Mat for a cost of 2. I'm going to go ahead and Digivolve Pidomon and then play the TK, putting my opponent back to 3. That is a really strong start, honestly. Starting with like champion plus TK is always good, because the next turn I can go into a War Growlmon, maybe play a Pulsemon or like Reinforcing Booster, just to follow it up with anything else. A Dynasmon even is like really strong against this deck. Against basically any deck, Dynasmon is a really powerful card. I mean, we see it seeing success in yellow-purple hybrids. So anyways, we're going to go into Kendo Garurumon for a cost of 3 on top of the Strabimon, which is quite a lot, but we are going to gain a memory back off the Strabimon, since it does gain 1 memory since you've got a hybrid, and since you did evolve on a hybrid, Kendo does get the jamming. So it is important in this scenario being able to just run over the 8mon there living, and so if I don't have an ultimate to follow up, he will possibly just start swinging into the security. Next turn, we're going to see double Mat here, and I'm going to bring out my Pidomon, possibly go into a War Growl would be really crazy here, or just a Knightmon is enough. Being able to just swing over, it's fine. We're going to attack over the Kendo Garurumon with the Knightmon, then Digivolve it for a cost of 4 into the Dynasmon. Dynasmon is going to trash the top card of my security, reveal the top 6, and then I get to choose any of those Digimon and add them to my hand. And let's not forget, of course, since I am now at 3 security, I will then be able to recover 1 off of the Dynasmon effect. So we're going to add the War Growlmon and the Pulsemon effect, adding those to hand, trashing the remainder of the cards, and then recovering 1 off of the Dynasmon effect. We're going to see Kumamon Digivolve for a cost of 2. Also, the Tommy was played to trash the bottom cards of the Dynasmon, so I do apologize about that cut. But anyways, basically all the cards underneath Dynasmon are going to be trashed. And then I'm going to start my turn with 3 Digivolve, the Pulse Digivolve, the Pidomon. Probably just start swinging with the Dynasmon. There's nothing in his deck that can really kill me, but I do hit a Sora Joe here. Feels bad, man. That is just the last card you want to hit in security. We're going to go ahead and Digivolve into the War Growlmon set up for next turn. I've got a really powerful play, possibly with a Lord Knight as well, if I do have it next turn. But we're just going to pass it to my opponent. So we're going to see a Kendo Garurumon Digivolve here, since it was on top of the Kumamon. It does get jamming, not that it's going to matter because we hit a blinding ray, but then we're going to recover 1 off of the Dynasmon. Then Korikakumon will go into on top of the Tommy, and then of course stunning the Dynasmon multiple times. Korikakumon stuns the Dynasmon, Tommy stuns the Dynasmon. Going to go to 3 security, and then we're going to play the Sora Joe to pass turn, putting me to 3. Now the Dynasmon can't attack, but I do have the War Growl that can possibly run over, I'd imagine, the Korikakumon here, because that's really annoying. We're going to minus 4,000 on one of the Digimon, and then we're going to Starmons it. So yeah, we're going to minus 4k, minus 3k on top of the Kendo, and then swing into the Korikakumon here. And then after that, go into Dynasmon number 2. We're going to then trigger his effect, reveal the top 6, add any of those 2 Digimon, and you see I do have the Kazemon, so probably going to want to add that. But then here, since I am at 2 security, I am going to be able to resolve both Dynasmons because they both recover during all players' turn. If I have 3 or less security, I can then go back to 4. So I'm just double checking here, looking at both of my Dynasmons. I haven't used the first one this turn, so I will be able to just use both of them this turn, because it does check at like whenever you're at 3. So if I was at 3, I couldn't recover 2 because it checks every single time. But since I was at 2, I was able to recover 2 cards. Anyway, so my opponent is going to start his turn with a ton of memory. Double Sora Joe plus Matt. We're going to see a Tommy play to trash the bottom of the Dynasmon yet again. We're going to see a Korikakumon again. They always happen, man. Going to stun one of the Dynasmon, so then we're going to possibly see a Howling Memory Boost or something. He needs to stun like all my Digimon, because I've got hybrid for sure. I've got 3 attacks, or at least 2 attacks now, so I can't game him at least. But he can't attack with the Korikakumon because he did just Digivolve that this turn off of the Tommy there. Possibly want to get rid of the Starmons. I know a lot of lists were playing like Supreme Cannon and stuff this past like weekend, at least at the time of recording this. A lot of lists were playing Supreme Cannons and stuff to bounce back rookies, which is really cool card to prevent your opponent from going wide. But against this deck, yeah, you don't really want to bounce back my Starmons because I'm just going to like use it again. So Beowulf and like Magna Gurumon and Supreme Cannon, all those bounce cards don't really do much against traditional decks. They're really more meta specific. But we're going to run into another TK off of the Kumamon, so not going to recover 2 in that instance, because again, you basically can't go past 4 with double Dynasmon on the field, and then we're just going to pass turn. Like manually pass turn, so I guess my opponent's hand there wasn't too good. We don't see a Digimon coming out of the breeding area, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But I am going to start my turn. Only the 2 on the like the Starmons and the Dynasmon that are next to each other can attack. So can't game my opponent this turn. But I am pretty much chilling. When you're resolving double Dynas every turn, it's pretty hard for your opponent to be able to just like kill you. So we're going to run into security with the Starmon and the Dynasmon. Starmons is going to die, and then after that I'm going to I've got another Starmons in my hand, as you can see. So I think I was holding that, not wanting to Digivolve in the breeding area, but I'm just going to Digivolve the Bushi anyways, because I'm not going to use that this turn. I'm going to go ahead and pop the Strabimon with the Starmon. So now I've got 3 Digimon in play, 1 in the back, and of course the Kazemon to be able to close out the game, possibly the following turn. We're going to go into Chaosmon Valderarm, deleting both of my opponent's Digimons, which is just absolutely wild, being able to clear his board, and then of course put him to 10, which is unfortunate, but I still do have the Dynasmon, so I'm still just chilling against my opponent, ironically chilling against the freeze deck. But anyways, guys, bad puns aside, we're going to see the Beowulfmon Digivolve for a cost of 1, and I think he's going to do the same play he's going to do. He's going to just bounce back. Oh no, he doesn't have Tommy this time, so he can't stun, thankfully. But we are just going to be able to bounce back to Starmons, and then go into the Kumamon, a Beowulf once again, and then going to possibly just swing into security. I did recover off the Dynasmon, of course, putting me back to 4. Then LordKnightmon is going to be that first card in security, and then it's going to kill the Beowulfmon now. So I think my opponent was asking if Dynasmon was once per turn, which it absolutely is. We're just going to see a Howling Memory Boost played for 3 to stun the Valderarm, and then play a Sora Joe for a cost of 4. And stunning the Valderarm is kind of hilarious because you can't actually like Digivolve on it, so you just like have to give your opponent the +2 memory. But we're going to swing with the Dynasmon, swing with the Bushi, and wouldn't you know it, I've got the last Digimon in that is going to attack is going to be, of course, the Kazemon that we added earlier. So guys, that is going to be game. Really cool stuff. I think LordKnightmon still has a decent amount of potential for the BT7 format. So if you really like the deck, give it a chance. And yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this one. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.